All right, back to texturing. Mud just looks so similar that it's really hard to tell that it's like something else, like something resting on top of the armor. So goof around with that. We'll add a little bit of height to it. This way. Yeah. Now that looks a little bit muddier. I would say. I don't really like how it looks though. I think the dirt modifier kind of works against what's going on here though. It's like it's just on the inside. It's not like we'll come back to that. I feel like this could use some more detail. Face itself. Surprised it doesn't have a little bit more. In fact, we're missing a section. Interesting. All right. That's odd. A bit unbroken. I guess I included the gun and then moved the gun to its own material. I don't think I ever verbalized that to myself because it's still the same material here. That's fine. Okay. But that means that with the armor, we actually have more space to utilize. So we're going to do that. Actually, before we do that, the face is this one. I'm going to make that a bit bigger. I would like more resolution on it. I should be able to increase it. Keep everything else same. Let that run for a little bit. It's probably a little bit laggy, hard to tell. All right. And then File, Export, FBX, Substance Painter V2. Be putting that here in the Substance Painter, Unbroken Armor, Low Poly, boom, boom, boom. Save. Turn here. Shift Control R, everything's going to break. And then we will go back to Bake Mesh Maps, Bake. The only things that's really going to be fucked up are the anything that's glowing. Which means to me that I actually should be selecting things differently. Some things I can't necessarily like that a lot. That's really cool. I will do it differently, but I really like the gridded, grippy texture on the middle. Huh, that looks really cool. Okay, but time to fix everything. So we'll do the armor eyes first. Deselect it here. Reselect it here, except for these pieces. But if I select it in the 3D space, then it will update correctly again later. So I need to keep that in mind. Same with the plate. Because a lot of these I selected on the UV map, which is why it breaks, because the UV's moved around. But if I just maintained my selections here, I'd be fine. Perfect. Then the plating. Go ahead. Remove that, then bring it back here and here. Simple, easy. Right, this one I will have to do on the UV map though, and that one, because they're connected. They're not separate UV islands. As for the suit material, definitely remove it from there. But man, I really loved how that grippy texture looked on everything else. That was really cool. All right, the rubber texture also. These. There, we got the rubber, but the wrinkles are in the wrong spot. Now they are. So here, let's delete the other one, duplicate this one, flip it around, move it back up. All right, basically back to what we had before. That's the power of Substance right there. You can redo your entire UV maps and bring it back real fast. Feels good. Plating. Now we've got more resolution on the face plate. faceplate. Damn, it looks cool. God damn. All right. Excuse me. Bring up the flat. This will be our grenade. Would be nice is to have a little bit more around where these pieces connect. Right now we have a little bit of shadowing, but I want like maybe a rubber seal, a stitching, something to show the interface between the armor and that mesh. So where would we put that? It was in the suit first. We have the suit grunge, but this is the bevel shadow. So that's what we had first. We'll call it was the plate shadow. That's what we'll call that. But I'm going to duplicate it, put it below it, and call this plate interface. Yes. And in here, we're just going to do something completely different. Go ahead and say height, replace, normal, place, and I did want that. Put the interface above the shadow. There. Then we're going to add a levels and make it very firmly align. That's what we want to see. So now we can make something that just has a little bit more oomph. I gotta say, it's still keeping these little dots. I'm keeping it there. Everything's set to replace. It's gotta be the height. Which I have set to replace, but do I have to set the whole suit to replace? It's above the pattern. On the same level as that pattern, so. Oh, well, that would explain it. It's not actually set to it. There we go. All right. So now we've got this little interface, and I think we'll just make it dark or something. We need a shadow going the other way onto the armor. That would be good. Like it's a little glossy. It's kind of cool. Let's try below the shadow again. Yeah. Grow it a little bit further. Nice. It's crazy that that's not geometry. It's just pure texture. Really doesn't look like it. There we go. Now we've got a nice little interface between the armor and the suit. Oh, I like that. Okay. Now we're going to take this plate shadow. We're going to duplicate it. Actually put it into the plating itself. And it just works, I guess. It just works. All right. We do get these lines, so I'll have to paint those out. Everything else looks perfect. All right, but now we've got a nice little shadow on the plate. Oop. Nice. Gorgeous, beautiful, powerful. Powerful. Let's see what we can do with that. Put a little bit more. That's about all we can really do. All right. Paint out some of this. Let's do some sort of dirt brush. That. All right, that way I can blend it a little bit nicer. It blends a little bit too smoothly. Mm-hmm. All right, that looks dope. That looks cool. I love that. It's so chunky. All right. Oh, man, I love texturing. just so satisfying. All right, just a little bit less beat up. Still pretty beat up. A little bit less beat up. Of course, we're going to go the other way. Cut out. That's what we'll call it. Actually, go in and paint out some of this stuff. Opposite of multiply would be linear dodge. It just feels so tasty. I love it. Okay, enough. I'm getting a little too lost in the sauce here. I like what's coming out here, but I really need to make sure I'm just staying focused on keeping things moving. So, what I would love to do is that grid texture. It looked so good, so I want that. We're gonna go ahead and drop in another template, and we'll call this grid. Grid. And then here, we'll just start by doing the height. Let's just do color. First, add the pattern. So we're going to do fill. Let's drop this in here. This will be the pattern. Grid. Here, we'll just do a fill with, you got it, a grid. Does that work? It doesn't matter if that works, because I can remove the mask and add it here in the normal, like that. And we'll repeat it 20 times, 80, 50. Something like that. All right. And So that's the pattern. And then here we want to fill, make a planar projection that does not repeat. We'll use a rectangle and other shapes. Let's do alpha rectangle like that. Planar R, scale it down, slap it on some stuff. All right, so here's a good test case. I just love the grippy texture. It looks so good. I really liked it on this over here. All right, something like that. And then the base layer will also have some height to push it down, which it immediately did and looks really good. And then, of course, some color to make it feel a little bit nicer. Looks too similar to that. We need it to go either even darker or to be like a specific color, like a warning sign. I don't know. Something like that. It's a little bit of an odd shape. All right. Duplicate, linear dodge. Move it somewhere else. It's just too similar to what we have. Yeah, okay. We're moving away from this. I like it. Unnecessary. Our belt, I like the rubbery material. Just looks like some soft rubber, which makes sense. Some sort of insulation on the other side of the metal. The gloves, interesting. That rubber, weird on the hands. Where did I add that again? As in the suit, the plate interface, we want to remove the glove from it. Or perhaps make it completely rubber. Not bad. Also, this rubber up here on the gasket, we'll use another material from the normal. That just to show that it's different material. That feels really cool. Maybe even one more set of repeating right about there. Oh, very, very Nostromo. Feels very, very cool. I like that a lot. Fuck, I love making suits like this. This is really fun. Okay, but back to work. So I need to start adding some shadows, some more deliberate shadows. Right now we've done kind of interfaces and stuff, but we need shadow here, just within all the, more of an ambient occlusion kind of deal. So we're gonna take this gradient shadow template, move it to the top. Make sure it's not repeating. and begin to add this in quite a few different spots. But the biggest difference I'm going to try to remember to do is to label these as I go, because that's what I always forget. It's like, this should be for the row, this should be for that. I always forget to name it till the very end. So we'll call it gasket. Finding it's just a nightmare. Finding it again. No. I wonder where I put that. And that's the gasket. Here we're on the pants here. It's okay if it overlaps. We have some around that. And we don't need to go that far. Pretty much just right there, so. Nice. We'll definitely need to bring in a. Let's just take a look. What's this look like here? Pretty good. Strong. Oh, should have been labeling these. Suit below belt. This should be on, or let's see, suit shoulder, wrist. Just some easy naming conventions. I don't think we'll need this everywhere. I'm a little skeptical of it if it's necessary right now at all. I don't think it is. We've already got a lot of interfaces there, a lot of color variation. If I want to make the shadow on the suit stronger, I do have the plate shadow here. I can always grow it out further, which I should, because that looks nice. Yeah, that's a lot better. Be nice to have some sort of attachment thingy majig here. Call this piece. Boom. I spelled it wrong. Bam. feel like they link there or attach there. Let's do another. Put it on the back. All right. Feels cool. Oops. I'm gonna pop open the reference. Stream going. That's weird. It says it's been live for 36 minutes, but the stream info only has 10 minutes listed. Well, fingers crossed. Oh, hey there, Draw for Food. Hello. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? Hopefully you had a good break. Good. Nice to have a buddy to text with. Heck yeah. On that Substance Painter grind. Are you also doing working in Substance Painter? I feel like it's not as soft as I would expect it to look. Yeah, though my style is way more toony, so I can barely grasp your fancy smancy stuff. It's you just get some noise, and then you layer it on some other noise, and then you layer that on some noise. It's pretty much all it is. Turtles all the way down. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. All right, just got some nice little tops to those. A little beat up, but no, it kind of adds to it. Kind of adds to it. Yeah, and then I do need to get the shoulder back. Should there we go. There's still some of that pattern coming through. That's a little annoying. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Let's copy this and put it in this layer. It'll look a little bit different. Nice. Armor eyes. Let's duplicate this. No, I need to do that on another layer. We'll say armor eyes fall off. This will be a very light blue emission. It only exists right at the rim of the eye. So fill, gradient, no repeat. Yeah, right around there. And here. Nice. I love that. Huh. Looks really good. Let's just lower that influence a little bit. Never knew you could deform a fill layer like that. Interesting. Yeah, the in the UV, yeah, you can totally just change the scale here. The trick is making sure you change your UV wrap mode. Because otherwise it'll repeat in every direction, which is usually why you don't touch it, but you can tell it to never repeat, which I did here. No repetition, and then you can just move it around. But it's good stuff. It's an interesting question on what would be on the inside of this. Like a screen, right? Some sort of interface or screen. Face goes here sticker, yeah. His waifu. A little bit further. Is for a commission or a personal avi. This is a commission. Bye. I can make it. Thanks. Yeah, it's definitely my work is pretty varied now, which I like. Just it's all a little different, stylized, realistic. I love it. We'll make it green, right? Green's like a uniform screen color. That's weird. Don't know if this is what I want, but I will get a shot. Just want something that looks very technical. Is that weird? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Let's do another layer on top. And this one we will use the stripes. I mean, that feels much more like a screen. But then maybe we set to subtract. Okay. Duplicate. This one will rotate 90 degrees. So now we've got something like pixelation. And then the base pattern. It's kind of cool. Well, that certainly looks more matrix-y. I just don't want to do I just don't want to do too much to it because I could get crazy with it. I don't want to get too crazy. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. All right. Anchor point above this, we'll make another flat layer. We should do another template. We'll call it screen shadow. Fill, add an anchor, visor screen, add a bevel, and do inverse subtract or subtract. Perfect. That looks good. Just make it very dark. Most importantly, turn down the roughness so that it has kind of a blend. We can even push in the height a little bit. Just make it look a little bit more like it's inset into the screen, which I think it does now. All right, cool. Or not if it should be glossy or not. All right, and then call this one screen bevel. And we're going to go the other way with this one, so we'll do subtract. Multiply. I need to look at the mask. One of these should allow it to go out. Divide. I don't think it's that one, but that's pretty cool, honestly. Huh. That's super useful. Interesting. All right. But don't need to worry about that. Yes, exclusion. Perfect. That's what we want. I knew that. Not. Oh, but this one does both. Perfect. Okay. And then for this one, also give it the height, lower the roughness. It needs to be a little bit smoother than this. But the smoothness makes it extend farther. There we go. Okay, now it feels like it's really set into a screen of some sort. All right. Let's get the grenade, get the hands, and move on to the gun. I would like to get all the texturing done today if possible. That would be really nice. I think it will extend into Monday, but should be able to get almost all of it done. All right, so for this one, we're going to make it very shiny metallic. Like it's a fresh, brand new grenade. Straight from the oven. Do you think they make grenades in ovens? Probably not. And add a height. This we want. Nope. We want to add a mask. Of the mask, add the stropic here, and we'll hit it with the metallic. We want to tile 80 times or something, maybe just 20, something like that. just some difference in the metallicness. Go to metallic here and just lower that influence squeeze. We just want it a little bit, just so we can see it a little bit. Then, as well, very slight amount of height. All right, but now it looks kind of like it's been milled or machined. It's about as good as it gets. Okay, perfect. Then there should be a kind of a emblem colored stripe. Say that. It should be bright red. I'm going to add it as a fill, no repeat. This is one of those things again where I probably should have done it in the 3D space, but that's okay. It just makes it a lot. If I ever change the UV maps, if everything's in the 3D space, then I can always return to it later or update it without everything, losing everything. Something to keep in mind. Boom. All right, we got the red. The metal itself should be quite a bit darker. All right. For this, I'm going to delete these. I'll be right back. Got a bunch of texts. Oh, my brother's home, or just landed. Awful. A good day ruined. My brother coming home. No, I'm just kidding. Or am I? All right. Just nice little thingamajig there. Let's drop this into the grenade. Since seems to be where it needs to go. I'll lower it a little bit, maybe. Let's just turn this down. All right. I don't want any greebles on there. But I do want to get rid of some of the intensity here. I want it to be chipped. Take out everything on the sides. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, much better. Nice. Then it's saving. With or without me, it's saving. It is the game has decided, or Substance has decided it is saving. Fuck you, fuck your life. It's time to save. So laggy. So laggy. All right. I think this is a good stopping point. Save. Now, let's go to the gun. One change to make, though. So re-export the gun with its updated material. That way, this name will be different up here. Shit. Fuck. Shit, fuck. Ah. Now it should work. Should have copied the material before. Oh well. Also ruined my bake. It ruined my cake. You make a trigger at some point. All right. First thing to do, I'm going to slap down the bevel shadow. Slap it down. Then I'm going to immediately delete it. Not quite what we want. So we'll want call a space and at least a few different sections. Be the main body. Back to here. Down to A. Let's turn off lock groups. Just hit back. Ah, gotcha. That makes sense. Oh yeah, do you know there's a way to see the whole edge, or at least paint outside of the UV islands on systems? Sometimes the seams are weird, and I'll end up needing to manually fix them in 2D image editing thing. Paint outside. Gotcha. I see what you mean. Not really. If you're having some oddities with that, you just want to make sure that your island distance is good, because there should be, when you export, well, it should be in Substance when I do this. If I do File, Export Textures, the padding here is what would affect that change between them. So I usually use dilation in infinite, which just kind of takes the textures on the border and pushes them out as far as it can. But perhaps something like dilation plus diffusion would work well, or just no padding at all might work kind of nicely. But that's most likely what's affected. Other than that, just doing what I was doing earlier, where you have like an image on your fill layer that you're moving around. That's the only other way to like paint over multiple islands at the same time in the UV mode. Even the islands is like isolated from the other ones at a sharp angle. You want to do that, the dilation ends up being the wrong color mesh. Oh, okay, yes, I know what you're talking about. So if you go to texture set settings, there in here, there is the UV padding option. Switch that from the 3D space to UV space. When it's 3D, it's trying to take the information from the mesh it's touching, physically touching, and it'll bleed over. But if you take it off, then there's no bleed of any kind. But yes, that definitely, I learned that just 2 weeks ago, and I was like, blew my mind. It's so useful. I just, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Hey, no problem. My pleasure. We're in this, the hellscape that is Substance Painter together. don't want it to rotate like that. Just puts things in slightly cockeyed. Caca. Swing. Just doesn't seem to be rotating them. Oh, that's okay. I mean, that is about as good as it gets if everything is meant to be roughly the same. Texel density. All right, export again. Boom, boom, boom. Save. Turn here. Edit. Bake. Oh wait, Shift Control R. Noise. Then bake. All right, there's the main body. I guess something like that. And the clip should be the same material except for this inner stripe. In fact, same with here. Do, do, do. Bang. Gun. Main body texture. Fill to fill. Add a noise. We'll set it to multiply. Most importantly, a little bit of height. This is nice. A little texture. Nice. I'll give it a little roughness variation too. Something more matte. Looks like there's some vents here. Those will be fun to make. What we'll do as well is we'll make one more template here, the flat, and this will be the main body shadow. And this is just one of these things, filter with a bevel, inverse subtract. Yeah, like that. And make it dark. Make it low roughness. Action the height. All right, now it makes that paint feel quite solid. This might be a point where I actually put on the 3D Space Sniper. Never mind, it did not do anything, so we'll undo that. But we do want it to affect here and the grip. That would be freaking cool. And then the main body will add in that or yeah. Yes. We'll add the generator here with the edgeware. I was thinking of doing it as a separate layer inside the folder, but this is simpler. Do it below the mask and in a subtractive way. Yeah. I like it. Then let's do a few other things like a scratch layer. On the other armor, I did this kind of all together, but I think I prefer, or sorry, as a few separate layers. But I like this better. Okay. Now I like that vent quite a bit, so that's going to be its own layer. Boom. Sorry if this is a bit of a wonk question, but where do you usually get your commission requests for? Oh, no, I don't mind saying that at all. Twitter is being kind of doo-doo. Sometimes I'll get nothing for almost 2 months. I mainly using Discord and Twitter. So since I specialize in VR chat, I use the VR traders Discord, and I'll send you a link to that. It's quite active, and I find that there is a lot of work happening there, and it's not the only VR specific Discord, but frankly, just over the years of trying to find work both for 3D and 2D, VR chat is the most active community, and I think that I'm there too. I'm thinking, oh, of course, I definitely would recommend the commissions there. That's so funny. I was like, yeah. So if you're already in there, then you know the drill. I do think Discord's been for me the best. Twitter, I've never ever gotten any work on Twitter. I've always really struggled. But if you're looking for other sites, Sorry, I just like having a buddy art with. No, I love it. I love that. No, it's even cooler that that we've interacted before on. I think they may have said this before, but I didn't put the name together this time. Um, but you were totally welcome to come by and hang out. I love that. Um, but in terms of places to find work, uh, another great site is Blender Artists. So finding sites like this is really nice, where they're forums for like 3D enthusiasts. Um, and with this one's really cool. You can actually set up alerts for posts in certain places, um, and so they have a job posting. Um, somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, jobs. Duh. Yeah, so pretty much, you can see right here, maybe 1 or 2 posts a day of current work. Um, it's a little hit and miss, because what people are looking for can vary a lot. It's not like VR chat where people are just looking for VR chat avatars. It can be a very, very different work, as you can see. Clothing rigging, environment modelers, rigging, and more rigging, some tech animation. You can see there's a bunch of stuff there, but here I'll post that in the Discord, or sorry, in the chat there. I love this site. Let me look. I have a little form I put together in the past, um, for like freelance resources. I think it's job resources. Yes. I'm really worried about the people who charge back or are sketchy. Haven't personally had anyone like that, but I've heard scary stories. I think you're always wise to be a little hesitant when entering into like a payment plan. Um, I personally really prefer half up front, half at the end, because I feel like it shows trust on both ends to start, because like people have to put up all their money. Or I was talking with Draw for Food here about freelance work. Um, but here are some other sites right here. Um, so ArtStation, obviously, I'll just screenshot this and send it to you. I'm not going to share this document because it has a little bit more than just my stuff. But are you on my Discord? I think you are. Here, I'll share my Discord as well. But I'm just going to post this in the Sam channel. I think I have you friended. Perfect. I always get lost in Discord. Yes, that's right. No worries. Sorry, oh my last gift. Sorry, I didn't mean to close that. Let me. Um, yeah, DeviantArt's also a great place for work. There's always people looking for stuff. Um, a lot of it can be a little bit underpaid, but if you really need work, it's there. Um, and if you do 2D work as well, also works out quite nicely. Let's see, Unity forums. I really like forums. If I would recommend anything, I would say just find forums for industry related things, or like a specific interest. Like DeviantArt, kind of a forum in that way, because they have forums, and there's a job offer forum on DeviantArt. So the more forums you can find, the better. It was basically the Discord before Discord was forums. Um, Reddit's been pretty good to me as well. Game Dev Classified. They also have some other ones, Hungry Artist, a few Fiverr. I heard that one is super bad with people charging back or lowballing. I wouldn't be surprised. Um, the chargeback thing is interesting. You just got to be kind of aggressive uh, with your kind of. You can make a contract first of all. It's like, hey, if we start work and I put for me, and you want to always come back to it is not about the task, it is about the time. People are paying you for the time you put in, and if they don't like the result or whatever, it's like you still have that. That's what it's about. He's like, well, you still made me commit a week of my time to do this, so I need to be paid because it doesn't. That's like best way to get work is start working. Well, I actually found I get another avatar I like, so I looked him up. Fiverr is for cheap, fast work. Exactly, it's definitely the denominator, the anchor on the scale. um, but yeah, if you're worried about getting charged back, just make sure you have a contract, and don't be afraid about talking about that contract. Just make sure. Yeah, if you're looking for freelance advice, I would love to. There's been some hard earned lessons over the years. I did a lot of freelancing um, for drawing and stuff uh, long before I was doing 3D art, and it had a lot. It was a nightmare in some ways. Um, Drawfoot is a TOS, or do I need to have them sign something? You need them to say that they agree to your terms. And that doesn't necessarily have to be on a contract, but you need somewhere them saying, okay, I agree to this. That's the important part. I'm not like if you're really worried, just screenshot it, save it or something. Um, but that's the main concern. Uh, have you ever been charged back? Man, I'm always super anxious. I never send the invoice until I have them explicitly say they've read it. Gotcha. I use Fiverr for drum beats a lot. Oh, very cool. Pay $20 to get a 10-second of drum audio. Just show your TOS by commissioning you. They agree to the TOS. Gotcha. Um, yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Like, hey, my terms of service. Definitely check them out and pay attention to this point when you commission me this. And frankly, it's like a lot of people that are going to commission you to start with usually are experienced commissioning people. Um, Usually, a lot of the times, people have some idea of what they're doing, um, which is good. You know, you'd prefer that. Um, it's a common way to do it. Do it that way. A lot of our I use have that and use that method. Gotcha. That's smart. Luckily, I haven't had any chargebacks, but it's always on the back of my mind. I think to speak to that fear a little bit, um, I also check in with people at least once a day. They're probably annoyed at me by now. I mean, I always send updates when I can. So daily, I'll be like, "Hey, this is screenshot. Here's the progress I made today." Um, but I don't always ask for feedback. That can be a double-edged sword. But just showing people that you're working is what they want to see, which is also why I stream. You know, it's like people want to know you're legit, and you're sitting in front of a computer every day doing the thing you say you're going to do for them. That's kind of a measure of trust. um, but to speak to the chargeback concerns, what I would say is that if you're in a position where a single chargeback could make the difference between you being able to pay rent or not, or eat, um, the art grind is really hard. It's pretty unforgiving in a lot of ways, and you know I don't say that to scare anyone, but it's just if you are going to really try to just get as many commissions as possible, you need to come down to what your hourly rate is. It's like, sure, you can get $100 commission, but if it takes you a week to do $100 commission, you are better off just getting a job at a local coffee shop, because that's that's a lot of effort you're putting in for something that, or at least like a part-time job, just something to support yourself as an artist, to make sure that you have steady income is vital. And if you can get that with your art, it's awesome. If you if you're in a position where someone could potentially ruin your ability to take care of yourself, you want to do whatever you can to secure your own health and safety. But that may not be your case. I just I personally wish I had uh, just gotten a job at a coffee shop or something, rather than grinding endlessly on the art commissions, because I burnout's real. And it's better to just have something that's healthy, whatever it takes to get the help. Anyway, as a commissioner, some advice: if it's taking up longer than a week, just let the commissioner know it's up. I will wait months as a backup if the art commissions don't work out by the time I. Oh wait, sorry. Only months for a com if an artist is clear with me about timelines and holders. That's a good. Absolutely, communication is key. That's something I think I need to hear. Still a student, so I'm not full relying on art, but I'm still embracing a math major as a backup. The art commissions don't work out by the time I graduate. Sam admitted he has burnout issues. Absolutely. I think, well, the burnout I'm speaking of is like, that was a dark time. Like, there's slowing down, and then there's like, I can't pick up. I literally don't want to make anything right now. um, but it's not like, as someone getting into the field, also useful calm tool Trello. Absolutely. Um, it's not that I would never want someone to give up on what they want, but I do think that the focus of whatever you do is your health has to come first. If your art can keep you healthy, can, keep you sane and supported, good. But if your art is coming at the cost of your health, you should reevaluate, make sure that you are in a safe place. Because if you if your health goes away, you can't do the art anyway. So keep always look after yourself first. That may sound kind of dire, but I don't mean it that way. I just worry about artists, knowing that I put myself in plenty unhealthy situations unnecessarily. Why can't I fill this in completely dark? I wish I could, but I can't for some reason. I'll try. I think I've been dealing with that a lot more recently, since major week-long troubleshooting came along just as finals are approaching. We're kind of freaking out. But luckily got the thing fixed this morning. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. Remember to breathe. Uh, that's tough. That is super tough. Yeah, the perfect storm of situations with art. Uh, much more much more frequent than we care for. All right, let's fill this in. Okay, so I just can't, or maybe do that. Then I put on the vent. No, I have to do a different fill. Yeah, you know, it's clear you love what you do. Um, but certainly, just finding the way to approach it that lets you return to it is the most important thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, I remember being in your position. All I really have to say, and please, this is not to be weird or anything, but if you really want money and you want to do commissions, the not safe for work community is always looking to send money your way. Refuse to do what I love work ever again. Also, it's Sansa. Oh god. I mean, I gotta say that's how I made my way through college with a lot of varied drawing commissions, um, but it paid the bills. People pay big for their adult stuff, 100%. I specialize in chibi stuff, so I don't think it's super suitable. If you want it, it's there. I'll say. I can't even bear to look at those references. It's too weird. That's fair. That's fair. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Um, and certainly, uh, even if you know what you're about, you're going to end up doing work for people that may push your comfort level. And that's not a good or bad thing. It's just it depends on what your comfort is with that situation. But yeah, you sound maybe perhaps a little too uh that's not your flavor. But yeah, I think not I for me it's not an issue, but certainly depends on your uh, where you stand it. But again, if you're a hungry artist, you want to make sure it happens. That's always available. Go to the furries. They spend a lot for stuff, even safe work stuff. 100%. Yeah, like half the battle with art is just knowing where the work is. Where can you actually get the work? Um, Always important to ask. And yes, the furry community is um, very supportive of their artists. Since I'm not relying on it, I've been able to keep everything in my comfort zone and not anything weird, but I can imagine having trouble deciding between money and my own brain if I'm living off it. That's what I'm doing at the moment. Gotcha. Um, I mean, it's totally up to you. I mean, and it totally depends on your circumstances. I'm mostly speaking to like if you're backed into a corner and you desperately need work, there are always where to find work when you absolutely need it. That's where you find it. Furries know how much furries pay for art. And the furry community is super amazing. I would say probably the uh, best community, best art, best creative community that exists because um, they are proud to hire artists. Whereas, like, be in my corner now, back into the furry corner. But as like even in the video game industry, which I tried to get into for quite a while, VR chat's similar, a little different. Um, but like a lot of times, if you're looking to, like, I want to get hired by a studio, it's like they don't really care who's making it. They don't care. Um, but being in a community that's like 100% supportive, like wants to know who's making it, um, loves seeing the results, and it's just always I don't know. There's a lot of good things in the furry community, um, and their support of artists is one of those. It's really hard to find that anywhere else, even within the artist communities. Like you go to DeviantArt, people are shitting on each other all the time. ArtStation, but like you go to furry communities, people are just like, "Yeah, good job." It's like, It's like you don't get that anywhere else. Uh, that's wild. Avoid DeviantArt. Yeah. When they went when DeviantArt went full AI robot, I deleted my account or AI training. I don't really have a problem with AI, but I certainly have a problem with breach of privacies. It's the plague lands. But yeah, if you ever need any more advice, thingy, I certainly wish you well, school. Um, and there's certainly a lot more I can talk about, but I wish you well entering this world. I have one thing left on DA, and it's because I can't get the photo back, and I don't want it deleted forever. Just one thing in your scraps. Yeah, good luck thing. I can genuinely would say that if you want to do the freelance thing and you like VR chat, just wait until people are approaching you for work consistently in VR chat and then make that transition. Um, because I've never ever encountered a community where there's been such a growth of and desire for art. Um, maybe Second Life was like that at one point, but I do think VR chat's at the rising trend. Not a scrap first photo I ever took and did it myself. Also, good luck, girl. Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's funny how DeviantArt it's problems, but it did really become it was that starting point for so many people, myself included, and just like going back sometimes you're like, yeah, I don't even remember making that. We call this the slide, the stock slide. Good old DA was great when I was in college. That was a while ago. Yeah, it really was the start of so many. Just it for what it for the all the complaints, legitimate complaints there are. It really was the start for so many people, which is cool to see. Oh, my brother's home. Hey, welcome home. One second, y'all. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. My mom is having some phone issues. Anyway, I'm back. Hello, everyone. And yeah, let's see. Appreciate the lack of sugarcoating for us 2000, though. It's not easy to find someone or some artists who always be genuine about the struggle aspect of the art career. I do enjoy support, but I need to know what's realistic for me. Well, I do think that that is a good way to approach it. Um, it's not. I don't think, in my eyes, the and I said this before, but it really just is your health. Like that is the only aspect that you should be considering. It's like, can I do this healthy? Period. Like, I think that in this era of like content creators and like, there's just this, there's a lot of hype everywhere. And, you know, certainly you want to follow your passions. And I do think that you can. But to get there, health is the most important part. Being able to eat, being able to uh, take a break. Those are all healthy things, and you may not find that in the endless grind of the things of the grind set. But I'm rooting for you. Let me tell you that I'm rooting for you. I really have trouble taking breaks. I do think that tendency wise, uh, there may be the artist may be prone to working hard or be like being very focused or wanting that desire to make something is very good. Um, but it really just comes down to like making sure that you can do it again. That's cool. I like making these little streaks and stuff. That's really fun. Um, that's true. Luckily, I'm leaving home for vacation right now after finals, so I physically won't be able to work. Good. It'll be my first real break in a while since I don't take weekends off. Well, you're welcome to join me um, and just hanging out here. You know, it's good to have company. I would say that one of the easiest off ways to offset uh, the negative impacts is just to be with good company and just be around other people that are doing the same thing as you or not. Just uh, streaming has been one of the most beneficial things I've ever done for myself. I wasn't really quite comfortable with it at first, but I can say without a doubt is one of the healthiest decisions I've ever made. Sitting alone in a room sucks. It's not good for you. So yeah, either watching streams or um, uh, what am I trying to say? You need a voice in the room. Helps drive off the work mass. 100%. 100%. Manish. Manish. Dish. Ish. Sparta. Oh, that looks good. I love that. Sooty. Sooty madness. Let's fill this with a rectangle. I have had the same idea in the past because people on TeamSpeak got tired of hearing about Blender when they're not into Blender. That's fair. Question. I know Sam touched on the big, keep your commissioners up to your point. But as you mentioned, the other big artist no. Not quite. Do it anyhow. I was thinking about stream, but I'm really awkward and it's way too noticeable when I speak, so it's probably good that I don't. Oh, I would say that the if you embrace the freelancer lifestyle, the amount of isolation right now you're in college and it's not something that's a concern. But if you spend year after year alone in a room, you will visit that is not good. That's really not good. So if streaming's not a solution, you have to find ways to get out. You have to find ways to be social and maintain those connections because um, isolation is real in freelance work from home situations 100%, and it should not be taken lightly. We are social creatures, um, so I can't just be exactly. There's a limit to that. There you can only do that for so long. There's exceptions in like culture. People who lived in caves and stuff and meditated until they were. That's what I did, but um, open a Discord channel, sit and voice with friends. Exactly. You work, you eat, you sleep, you wake up and roll your computer and repeat. Yeah. Um, I I think VChat itself is a great way around that. Being able to interact with people, doing the streaming and stuff. Um, but there is a limit to it, and I've found personally, I didn't like streaming at first, but it has by far been the best way to counteract a lot of that. And plus, this is the unhealthy aspect of it. It also makes me really productive. Invite your commissioners and let them watch. Sit on mute. Exactly. It's like if I really need to get something done and the ADD is a little too strong that day, um, Twitch has been the best solution for my ADD. I There is nothing else. Adderall doesn't even come close. Uh, just being able to sit down and turn on the stream and I suddenly can work. I don't know the science behind that, but I know that it works. Silent streams are a thing. That's exactly, yeah. In VR chat, I tend to stare at the phone, stand next to my friends, and barely talk in crowds. Well, I relate to that. Even me getting in VR chat has been really tough. But I did find Life Drawing World. That's been really cool because you can just. I find that having a something to do or like a focus, uh, socializing for socializing's sake, really uh, messes with my nerves. um, but having something to do helps. Twitch also isn't the only option. There are a few art specific sites with way less restrictive rules, so licensed music, fine, etc. Sam does an advertisement time. um, and but yeah, the life drawing. I'll probably be doing that. You're all welcome to come to those things. I'll be posting about them in my Discord. But there are some other things, yeah, that have helped me that I probably won't talk about on stream, um, but I wouldn't mind discussing in a Discord conversation. For me, the times I did stream was more to force myself to actually do it as well. So you actually finish something and not trying to or become a streamer. What about the shrimping problems? I don't know what shrimping is. I love shrimp though, but I don't know that's what you're referring to. That is not it. We want a mask on this layer and then boom. Gotcha. There we go. Put some right here. Shrimp posture. Oh yeah, good chair. I do exercise. That helps a lot. Good chair. I do have a. I sit on. This is a pillow for long haul truckers. uh, and we basically have the same job. So yeah, definitely a good chair. I have a little footstool to stand on. Force them to drink water. Where's my water? What is toot? I did buy a adjustable desk as well. Yeah, I have a trucker cushion that helps a ton. I found just sitting on a flat surface uh, really fucked me up after a few years. Um, and it really is kind of on the scale of like, if you want to do the freelance lifestyle, you need to think about the fact that you're literally sitting in a chair for years. It's like not an exaggeration in any way to say you're sitting in a chair for years. Um, and it's not healthy. You can mitigate it, but it's health is not the phrase I would use to describe it. I just got a good chair. It helped majorly. Ergonomics are stupidly important, 100%. I think everyone here can relate to what we're talking about, clearly. But we kind of, I think we all came to Twitch one way or another because it does help with this lifestyle, this kind of work-life balance. Um, and I was streaming on, or I was not streaming, but watching Twitch long before, just because it was good to have something on in the background. Eventually, I couldn't do that because I'm just too distractible. But anyway, we'll help each other through this together. That's the goal. But exercise for your back, shrimp posture. You just need to be aware of it. Um, a lot of it is like if you're looking down at your monitor, that's no good. You want it to be like level, looking straight ahead. Um, even I tend to have a little bit of a stoop, but it's not like crazy bad. I have problems, eat heart medicine. I know the feels, but anyway, can anyone drive Grandpa home now? I'm not that old. He screamed and screamed and screamed. Let's make it filled. It will be a planar projection. Then we'll put that dirt. What is it? Dirt brush in there. yeah, since streaming, my life has been gotten a lot healthier. Um, which is weird because I imagine inviting Twitch to your house every day would have a negative impact on health. Not at all. It helps me a lot too when I'm in a slump. Yeah, we get little Lux. I live with my brother as well. That's been a huge boon. Um, improvement on my health. Just being able to have good company. Uh, but yeah, my life changed a lot once I realized there's really only one metric. And I'll say it again. I know I'm on repeat here, but your health is the number one most important thing you can invest in. There nothing else even comes close. Everything in your life derives its ability to exist from your health. It encompasses everything in your life. So making sure that that's your focus, improving your health, improving improves everything. Um, so work out, eat well, hang out with people, take breaks, um, and have fun. Just don't get easy. Yeah, getting old's for losers. Uh, this rotation should turn it that way. It's not quite working the way I thought it would. Mentally, I'm succeeding so far. Simple goes back to his corner. I'll keep that in mind. Physically, I can't seem to fight age that well. I would like to think that we're alive at a time where uh, the potentials for long term longevity are very real. Who knows? I certainly think that with the advances that are happening with AI and medicine and stuff, we could certainly live to see some wild stuff. Wild stuff. Why isn't this appearing? Because this has a mask, and this mask is right here. Yeah, that looks. Lights another smoke. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't keep me away? Healthy hands are here, and bum me one, please. All things in balance. All right, let's give this base metal a little bit more texture. think this also needs its own edgeware. All right. Gun looks cool. Oh, more agua. Más agua. Excuse- Hmm. It's not working quite the way I'd like. That's okay though. Let's delete that fill, level, and bevel. Level and bevel. And we'll add it with just planar cuts. Boom. Shrink it down. Put one right here. Right about there. A little bit more. Ew. Certainly, the question in my mind is this easier than actually just painting it? It's a little debatable, but I do like this more because otherwise I'm painting on the UV map. Really, just that these lines will certainly be straight. That makes it a little bit easier to paint. I like that. Cool. A little bit of paint. Noise. Noise. That's my cat. Lux, are you sniffing the microphone? Probably so happy you're home. Look at his little tootsies. Giddy. Really, Sam? Oh, I missed that. Missed what that was in reference to. There's got to be a way to blur just the edges. Oh. Can't help myself. Music on the brain. Oh, I actually just got a Casio. I forgot to turn the camera. It's Casio piano thingamajig. Oh, look at that. Sits on top of my dresser so nice. Eventually, I'll be able to play music. For now, that is a piano. A piano. Or I guess keyboard? I forget the terminology. The guy I picked it up from was like, "Oh, you probably know all about Casios," and I was like, I don't know anything. Technically a keyboard. So yeah, I thought there was some terminology stuff there, but can't say that I'm super familiar with it. Ooh. Fair. Fair. Well, I think we're very close to the end here. We just want like a grip texture, and that's about it. No carbon fiber. Carbon fiber. It feels the depictions of this feel very like what's the word? Iron, analog, something like that. It's like Aliens, that kind of vibe, that kind of tech. Exactly. Chunky, chunky guns, chunky chunkiness. Oh, that looks fucking dope. Fuck yeah. I have to make this plainer just so I can really get that down. I love that though. Wow. Yeah, let's set it to plainer. Got that junk industrial. Yeah. 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 Mew. Huh. Just not kind of coming together as well as I would have liked. Oh, it looks good from this side. That's what matters. Got that. Chunk equal good. Exactly. Chunk important. That's what I tell my kitty every day. I go, you chunky. And then I rub her belly. She's got that chunk. She's got that chunk. Oh, please don't crash. All right. I think that's pretty good for now. I come back and add more stuff. Probably with decals though. Nice. Let's go ahead and open the head. And start some work on this guy. I believe the client requested that he have red hair though. swear he said it red herring. Dang, I really love how it came out though. He looks so good. Teeth baked oddly. Good human faces when flattened like that. Oh yeah. Yes. He's beautiful. We probably need to redo the bake on the beard and stuff. Yeah, let's redo that right now. So we'll go here. We're going to delete the head high poly. Just now people look at moisturize me. That's the ideal face. Actually, before I move everything, select everything, Control A, all transforms for these ones. That way we can move them back. How do you unwrap a human face with a knife? Scary. Unzip the back of the head. You just do the paprika style. Just slide your fingers under their skin. Easy. Good God. Good God. Great Scott. Alright, so let's duplicate this hierarchy. Duplicate the collection. Welcome to Nightmare Zone. Unintentional, I promise. Win, win. For a detailed guide, you can read Murakami's Wind Up Bird. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Russian man with the knife. It's just so funny that guy, like, that's, you know, like, he was definitely menacing in the book, and I think the writer did a good job making him scary. But it's just kind of funny about it. It's like, he has no other skills. He's just really good at unpeeling people. UV unwrapped before 3D software was there yet. Where's why Sam Moore? He'll unwrap another human eventually. I need a new lampshade. Did we see that American Horror Story season with Zachary Quinto? Well, I guess always in every season, but where he plays the like doctor that's helping the lady get out of the hospital. Never seen. It was pretty good. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. That's good. I watched season one for that. The It got too heavy. It stays pretty heavy, and the scene I talked about is just like when it like I would say that it pushes it farther than the first season did. The second one, it was pretty horrific. Yeah, yeah. I remember. I think that last episode where they do this big reveal. I stopped watching. I like scary stuff, but I do have to do it in like moderation, moderate doses. Season one was close to too much. After that, I couldn't cross. It crossed the lines. Fair. Oh, I cancel. Cancel. The eyes should not be included in this. All right, all right. Okay, so now we can texture him. Probably be easier if we just him in to the teeth look different. Oh, there we go. I see. I see. We do need to extract the maps. Probably both the normal and the ambient occlusion. Save. And then do our mesh maps layer. Add a fill. Make sure ambient occlusion is on. Then we put in. Oh, my brain's turning off. Definitely getting close to the end of the day. Sad it is to say. All right, save. Let's open Unity. Unity. Oh yeah, but the thing for American Horror Story is like we are talking about like skinny and stuff. This lady is like working with this doctor to get out of the insane asylum she's trapped in, and like he helps her out like over the course of like 8 episodes. He finally like gets her out, and this is pre Quinto's character, and then they finally get back to he like takes her to his house, and then she's like sitting there and she's looking around at all this stuff, and it's like like things like it's just like at that moment, of course, like all these things start lining up, and you realize that all the things in his house are like made out of people. He like hands her candy from this like little snack tray, and then like looking at the snack tray, like you realize it's like the top of a skull or something. It was pretty horrific, but um really well done. It was like I after that I stopped watching after that because I was not prepared for what happened next. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah. That was like now we all want to my little my snack cravings are acting up. Yeah, it was wild. Like let's see. Ah, I don't think I'll be able to find a screenshot of it, but anyway, they did a good job with it because it really freaked me out. It's just like you think that he's on her side the whole time up until that moment. And you're like, oh shit, unborked. Speak for yourself. That just gave me the nom noms. Was there a name? Actually, let me double check that. Bum, 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 bum. Gotcha. And that'll work then. Back here, turn on all the low poly stuff. Select everything. File, export, FBX. I believe that will work. Oh, dang it. Let's rename that to Unbroken. Oh, let's go into this scene really quick. That's a piece of fire. Don't worry about that. Looks very sus from this angle. Hmm. Why can't I do that? Missed that, and I'm glad. And Sam, it moves. You're on stream, Mister. It's fire. It's stylized fire. See, look, butterflies come out of it. There we go. No sus. From this angle, it's quite sus. But Why can't I rename this? Weird. What's going on here? What the fuck? Unity's calling you out. What in Sam hell? Hmm. Shit. This should be. Oh, it is lower. What's odd about it? Are the feet going through the floor? Here they're not. All right, let's make a backup copy. Call this one painting version. Save. Delete the high poly here. And then move everything back here. I guess they are floating. Dang it. Oh. No, I get it. Okay. The marine is moving. There we go. Something got a little bit offset. Oh, I know why you're not in Subscribe. I forgot to ask earlier. Is there a way to make the poly fill mode in Substance not have gross aliasing? Um, no. uh, not particularly. Uh, it really comes down to. So you want to think about it this way: your pixels are a grid, a square, a bunch of squares, but your polygon on top of them can be stretched and squished. The only way to get perfect edges, they are perfectly 90-degree squares or lines, which is one of the reasons I make straight edges so frequently, because they perfectly align with the pixels there. But only straight lines will ever perfectly align with our pixels. Um, Other than that, you could add like a blur filter to really kind of like smooth it out. There's a blend brush. Um, but when you first do that last selection, we'll just do an example. Paint layer, say, I should be able to paint. Let me paint. Yeah, perfect. It's just trying to fill in the squares that are inside this. So it is always going to be a little bit jagged. You really do have to just go in and clean it up. Like even a paint or erase or something like that is going to be a little bit straighter. Just set your brush to UV texture and go in and smooth it out like that. Doesn't have to be straight, but I was hoping to be a way to make it a little bit fuzzy. It looks so gross. Fair. Um, yeah, I would say your other option is really just the if you get the smudge tool and you go to assets and you search blur, you go to your brushes, I believe you have a blur brush, so you can go in and just kind of very softly blur things out. but certainly not right off the rip. Like it's a post fix. Yeah, just kind of smooth it out. Doesn't always work as nicely as that, but should give you some. So yeah, and then the standard smudge like pushes things around, but this one you have an actual blur tool to soften it up. Other than that, you would just use a filter. So if I just slapped a filter in here for the blur, and you just turn it up, smooth the whole thing out. Well, easy. All right, so we got our dude into Unity. Now it's time to make some materials. Thanks. Hey, no problem. No problem. Body. We have a few different materials here. We've got the body. We've got the gun. We've got the head. And the eyes. I swear, I heard we have our our nude in Unity. That took me a moment. Technically, he's just a head, so there's no nudity for him, or just his head is as nude as he'll ever get, as he can ever be. Ah, do we want to do an outline? We'll see. We may not do the outline. Just the head. A. Oh, just the head. Yep, it's Friday. I've lost it. Hey, I'm right there with you. Another 30 minutes, and that's it. I'm gonna go crazy somewhere else. But it has been a good week hanging out with y'all. I felt very productive. I was really struggling at the beginning of the week, um, but I'm feeling better now. Feeling better now. Actually, just last week was really rough for whatever reason. I was going to do the eyes too. We just want this, please. It's actually going to be face. $22 for me. It's on the Booze Town train to watch my namesake. Your namesake. Is there a band in town or a movie? Gonna be a drunk dragon. Gotcha. That took me a little longer than I should have. B5, 4K, export and save. I've been hearing about this stuff, and next month I'll probably order some, or next week. But it's called Sentia, and it's a drink that makes you drunk, but it's not alcohol. But it does the same thing as alcohol. Supposedly, there's no hangovers and no calories, so pretty interested in giving it a shot. Get it? And drinking it. Uh, so apparently alcohol makes you drunk by influencing your GABA system. So I don't know what's in it other than just it's like plants that do a similar thing. So this is what it's called, Sentia. But it affects your GABA system in the same way. I hesitate with all these synthetic things. As I understand, it is plant based. So it's not synthetic in the sense that it's a man made compound. I'm interested in giving it a shot. Um, can't help myself. Um, well, let me know. Maybe I'll give it a shot. uh, as long as it's not the synthetic, we shall see. Joke. uh, Spider-Man meme. Same Spider-Man pointing. That's Jokes Anonymous. All right, so one at a time, we're going to go through here and make the texture. We didn't export the eyes just yet. That's okay. I want to see the armor first. And need to hit it with the read write enable legacy blend shapes, humanoid rig, no animations, and slap some materials. How do you rename this one? This one. All right. Onto the armor, color, and normals. First, we'll just put it on in. Boom. Dope. Boom. Bam. And actually, for all of these, we'll do shading, light data, AO. I like setting this to 0.5. It's a little strong in Unity. Then we have that AO map. AO. Bam. Shading. Interesting. Let's do skin. Just see what it looks like. It's like not realistic per se. We'll probably come back to that in a little bit. Italic. Smoothness. Then I put the AO in here. And here. For merge. And definitely need to turn up the metallic. In order to make it look proper. This look really good, honestly. Ooh, and then we get to do the emission. Nice. Then, yeah. Did we make the map? Yeah, we did. Right. Armor down. Next is the gun. Um, um, Mm-mm. The dirt might be too much. It just looks like he shit his pants or something like that. I'll turn that down. I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying it though. It looks good. All right, let's get the head. Boom, boom. Oh, shit. That sounds terrible out of context. My power. It looks like shit his pants. I'll fix that later. I'm really enjoying it though. It's perfect. Hmm. Hey there. What? Not attack. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. The ambient occlusion is not having as much of an effect as I would expect. So we'll turn it up. Or I guess what I'm saying is there should be a shadow here on the head. That's missing. We learned something new about Sam today. I'll never look him at the same again. Let me clean my drawers. um, I think the head's a little bit too big, too. And high. Right? Or maybe I'll move the shoulder pads up. There goes the teaching position. I have a doctorate. In fecal matter. Let's go to the head. And the eyes. Please. Sam, go home, you're sober. It's gotta be a good joke there. So I'm like, oh, my favorite. I love. No, I'm not gonna go there. All right. Okay, we're just gonna do the eye. Export. Save. Bye. eyes, we're going to make sure they have reflections in specular, which means they need a little bit of shadow. Sam, my family watches the stream sometimes. Also, Sam. I like to scare them. I like to scare them wild sometimes. Or Sam, go home, I'm sober. I'm sober. You're sober. Alright, we're going to turn on decal 1 for this and slap that in. Boom. Nice. All right, he's looking good. Pew, 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 pew. Oh, thank you, Snartum. All right. All right. Progressively louder. Duke Nukem all rights. All right. Nice. That looks amazing. Really enjoying that. I'm getting massive Titan A views. Y'all ever watch Titan A? That's kind of an old movie now. Okay, thank you. It was a little muddled as a story, but I say it's the jawline. Yeah, he has a very. He has the little swoops, and then the like yellow lights. Hey, all right, we got a few more minutes. I'm going to see what the stats are for the character, and then we're going to take some screenshots and call it a day. I have to combine everything into the same mesh, though, to judge that properly. Well, I know it's going to be one mesh, so I don't have to worry about that. But what I do want to see is this texture memory usage. Noise. So we're doing good in that regard. Next, let's change the lighting. So I might throw this on Gumroad, but basically I just took all the um, uh, blends, not blends, but skyboxes from Blender, and I brought them into Unity. So we get some good skyboxes. Nice. Looks so good. All right. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll just call it here. Do the screenshots a little later. Ugh. But I do want to say thank you, Era. Thank you, Snardom. Thank you, Draw Thingy, for hanging out with me all week. It has been a good week, especially because I've been able to chat with you, talk Blender with you all, make cool shit. I'm very pumped. It has been a good week. I was not feeling it Monday, but it really turned around. And a lot of that's thanks to you all. So thank you for making such an amazing week for me. Um, but I am going to go ahead and end the stream here. If anyone else is out there, Val, Arctic, anyone lurking, thank you all for hanging out with me. If you haven't yet, maybe consider hitting that follow button. And I will be back Monday with more. We're going to be wrapping up Unbroken here and then doing some smaller projects. And then we'll be good. But yeah, I look forward to it and have a great weekend, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Um, uh, Era, enjoy your Friday. I think he's already headed out, potentially. But I'll catch you all Monday. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, Draw. Bye, Thingy. Bye. See you.